Augmented reality is slowly becoming the new platform for gaming. One of the most recent augmented reality hits was Pokemon Go. It was released more than a year and a half ago, and it still has millions of players around the globe. That success has a secret that many game makers are hoping to discover for themselves. Take Lenovo for instance. Known more for their stand-up-to-anything hardware, they've never had the best implementation of any type of software. So when it came to their AR game, Jedi Challenges, my hopes weren't very high. That early judgment may have made it a more fun experience because, much to my surprise, I really enjoyed holding a holographic lightsaber in my hand while battling some droids. Hey everybody, I'm BodyPal with the Android Anthem, and this is my review of the Star Wars Jedi Challenges augmented reality game made by Lenovo. In the same way that millions who have never heard of a Pokemon are now trying to catch them all for the very first time, you don't have to know anything about Star Wars in order to enjoy Jedi Challenges. Many in my family, both young and old, caught on quickly to the simplicity of the gameplay. In fact, some just couldn't put it down. To set up the game, you need to install the Jedi Challenges app to your phone. It is available for both iPhone and Android devices. The app will begin to walk you through syncing and orienting the lightsaber. Next comes the tracker orb, which has two modes, but only one was active during the time of this review. The second mode will be unlocked in a future update. Now it's time to insert the phone into the headset. First, your phone goes into the little black tray, then the tray slides into the headset. Now connect the tray to the headset with the proper cable for your device. The box includes a different cable for any type of connection, whether it be micro USB, USB Type-C, or a lightning port for your iPhone. Then lastly, close the door so that it doesn't all fall out. While the game itself may be easy to maneuver, very much due to the faceless voice training you through it all, the first time setup process was rather dicey. It attempts to walk you through step by step, except it forgets about the system permission pop-ups until the very end, which I then had to take it all back apart and start over again. Make sure that you check the box Always Allow for each of the pop-up boxes, or else you'll be taking the phone out many times before you even get a chance to play. Once the game begins, there's a voice that acts as your training master. It's there every step of the way to not only help you, but also to remind you just how bad of a Jedi you really are, and how much practice you're going to need to advance further. You're tossed into a galaxy of 5 planets, all of which were pulled from the Star Wars universe. These represent your 5 levels to the entire game. On each planet, there are 3 different games, all of which you must complete in order to move on to the next planet or level. Holo Chess is the game you see R2-D2 play against Chewbacca in A New Hope, and again against Finn in A Force Awakens. This game is rather slow and it's not very intuitive because it is in no way relative to the typical game of chess that we play. In this game, it's just a matter of moving forward, clicking on a character to attack, and then the monster attacks to kill the next monster, and boom, the end, and move along to the next challenge. Another game is the Strategic Combat. This one is much more fun and involved. The premise is that you are the leader of a stormtrooper army, and you must defend off the attack from the droids. You're in charge of strategically placing towers and guns, other stormtroopers, all on the battlefield. Even Obi-Wan Kenobi comes into play as a kick-butt, clean-the-battlefield, last-ditch effort if you get a little overwhelmed. All that has to be done while also completing another important task. For example, in one challenge, you have to keep R2 units safe from the attack, as they cross over the battlefield and hop into the Resistance fighter planes. Lastly, you have the ever so popular #1 reason to buy this game, the Lightsaber Battles. This part of the game is what makes you feel like a real Jedi. The first time you battle, that omnipresent voice that trains you the proper techniques to defend. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't teach you how to attack. The game makers pretty much left that part up to your imagination. Ultimately, if you're not being attacked, you should then be attacking. The game starts you out easy against some droids. Then you move up to some stormtroopers, and then eventually your Jedi training will have you face to face with the likes of Darth Maul or Kylo Ren. Skills here are also getting tougher with each level, and then eventually you'll be face to face with Darth Vader himself. I never made it that far, unfortunately. The Force was present but not very strong with this one. Lightsaber Battles is definitely the coolest part to enjoy with friends and family. Lenovo's Star Wars Jedi Challenges was released in November 2017, and it can be found at several retailers for $199. During the time of my review, there were not any major updates published. However, when the new Star Wars The Last Jedi movie hit theaters, Lenovo unlocked the new planet Crate with 3 new challenges of its own. This gives me reason to believe that the game will continue to grow over time. Probably not much, but small rollouts every now and again. Holo Chess is the biggest disappointment. There's really not much to it, and a bit of a shame that you have to play it on every single planet, because I'd rather much just skip that part. Strategic combat and lightsaber battles are indeed the most entertaining. Being that 1/3 of the game is practically a waste of the programmer's time, and yours too as a player, I'm not 100% sold on the idea that this game is worth the $200 price tag, but I'd pay somewhere closer to $150. In addition, there's no published plans for the future. If they only update the game with new content when new Star Wars movies comes out, that will only be once a year, but it's still too early to tell for sure. It's a first attempt at AR for Lenovo. There are a few mistakes along the way that they need to learn from. There are mechanics that need to be worked out, like fitting the tray properly for any phone, and if you make it all the way to the end and defeat Darth Vader, I don't believe it's entertaining enough to actually hit the reset button on the game and start all over again from scratch. Thanks for dropping by the Android Anthem. I hope you enjoyed this review of Lenovo's Jedi Challenges AR game. If you did, give it a like, and don't forget to share and subscribe. That way, you'll be sure to never miss out on any of our great reviews and advice for everyday people from an everyday tech geek.